Quentin Grimes has taken exception to the narrative spun out of Dallas about Luka Doncic post-trade. What's going on? I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. We're pushing for 20,000 subscribers, so pleased to see that. Help us out. Help us get there. Hit that subscribe button. Joined by Donnie Freeman. Donnie, the Luka trade, one of the most shocking in the NBA, but a lot of people forget shortly after, the Mavs made another controversial move, trading Quentin Grimes to the 76ers in exchange for Caleb Martin. Quentin took some time to talk a little bit about his game and how surprised he was at the trade. He dropped 44 points the other night for the 76ers. This is yet another thing that it feels like the Mavs got very, very wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it a little bit previously. I just personally, I'm holding on to him, but if you want to apply a little bit of context, I think he was due for a contract. I think that, they wanted somebody else that was locked up, which is why they targeted Martin, who was locked up on a $9 million contract or something like that, a little bit older. Unfortunately, Martin hasn't been available to them either, so that's just kind of been their season. But also, I think Max, the way he was playing, what they projected with him, maybe they were thinking there wasn't going to be a lot of opportunity as well. But I'm not here to come to the defense of Nico because nobody likes him right now. But anyway, yeah, Quentin's been awesome. I just like to apply a little bit of context. But yeah, the whole situation around this, as we've talked about so many times, it's insane.
Well, now Quentin Grimes adds this into the mix, talking about Dallas. He said, it's crazy what's going on, so it's a blessing in disguise that I got moved. So you say it's a blessing in disguise. Like, thank God they traded me, but I feel for them for sure. We had a tight-knit group over there this season. We had a good chance of winning it all. But that's the NBA, and dudes get moved all the time. That's got to hurt even more for Mavs fans to hear Quentin Grimes saying, hey, we had a good shot at winning it all, but they decided to make these moves. To take it further, though, Grimes took issue with the way Luka Doncic has been portrayed on his way out the door from Dallas. Grimes dismissed the team's concerns about Doncic's conditioning and work habits, saying his former teammate was always in the gym whenever he would show up for his late-night shooting sessions or practice day weightlifting. He said it's a narrative around him. Once a narrative gets out there, everybody just runs with it. Whatever they're saying, if he's 270 pounds and he gets to the finals, let him be 270 then. It's crazy. Donnie, I don't buy that Luka is actually 270 pounds. I don't know if he has to actually step on a scale to prove it or whatever, but ultimately, Quentin Grimes is right. If he's getting you to the finals and playing the way he is, who cares what weight he is?
Right. He could have been 350 for all I care. If he was getting to the finals, shoot, I'll take it. Right. But no, I do think that, like, on that topic, like that I think it's fair to want him to be in shape. Like, I don't want him to be out of shape. I think that's a fair ask for a professional athlete personally. But regardless, whether he was 270 or otherwise, the way he was playing, I mean, they obviously were in the finals. They had a chance to run it back. I thought that their roster on paper, all that stuff, aside from the health issues, was amazing. I thought maybe they had the best roster just in general when you just laid it all out and you added Luka, all that. And overall, I thought that they were really good, at least one of the top ones. And then they obviously were just there. Like, you don't typically trade your 25-year-old generational superstar 8-9 months removed from just making the NBA finals. Like, there's no way that they can justify that to me. Like, and I've seen so many people spin it so many different ways because there's people on both sides of the fence. Not everybody is disappointed that Luka's gone from Dallas. Okay. But regardless, to me, the way I see it, I think these are things that you work through instead of just saying, just get out of here.
Well, and I think we're seeing players start to take exception to the Mavs and the way they're handling this situation after the fact. So I want to talk about what this means for the Mavs long-term and their ability to attract other free agents. First, let me give a quick shout out to our sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. PrizePicks does a fantastic job. If you use our code Bulletin, you get a guaranteed $50 on your first $5. You can use the link in the description down below. So go check out PrizePicks. We'll make a couple of quick picks here just to show you all how it's done. Super, super easy. De'Aaron Fox had some comments about the Sacramento Kings. We're going to talk about that on a later video, but he's playing Sacramento in Sacramento tonight. Have a feeling he's going to score more than 23.5 points.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's happening. And then I like Evan Mobley in Charlotte, the little goblin, 12.5 points. He's going to get that done. I don't have any questions about that. The Suns up against it in Denver, 26 points for KD, or I kind of like this, 31.5 points and rebounds combined. Yeah, I'll do that for KD. So if I were to put in $10, that would be a 37.50 win over on PrizePicks. Use the link in the description down below. Again, super easy to play, and use our code Bulletin. All right, so Donnie, these comments that we're seeing coming from the Mavs side of things, maybe what we're not looking at enough is guys like Quentin Grimes are having problems with the way Luka is being portrayed. And that's not going to be forgotten very quickly. NBA players remember these things. And so my concern for Dallas is that not only have they made some very negatively received moves over the last, say, 6 weeks here, the way they've handled themselves, the information that's gotten out, kicking fans out of the building that were voicing their opinion about the Luka trade, everything that's happened. We're raising ticket prices, for crying out loud, right? All the things they've done. It's all been negative. And players around the league are noticing the leaks that are coming out of Dallas that are anti-Luka, as though they're trying to justify the trade. They're not going to necessarily forget that. And when it comes time for the Mavs to go after a free agent, my concern for Dallas is that could be maybe not the deciding factor, but could that be the tiebreaker in the mind of a free agent? Could that be enough to steer them away? We saw it with Anthony Davis not wanting to get traded to the Boston Celtics back in, what was that, in 2019? He didn't want to become a Celtic, in part because of the way they had handled their business with Isaiah Thomas. And he saw that and said, no, I don't want to be a part of that. My hope for the Mavs is that that's not the way this goes, because players aren't going to forget the negative stuff coming out now about Luka.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I think that's something that these players are going to look at. Obviously, there's a lot of factors, but I do think they're going to look at that and say, well, you guys, and there's not anybody that doesn't know about this, and there's nobody that's going to forget about this. The way that they're treating and handling this whole Luka situation, where there's been leak after leak after leak. Seemingly, it's kind of not, it's been a little quiet the last couple of days, but it felt like for a while, like every couple of days, there was something new or somebody else adding to the fire. And that's just not a good look. Like, to me, it comes off of as trying to justify it. They said in the very beginning they didn't think they'd get the response that they did. I'm not sure why, but they said in the very beginning that, and it felt like the entire way they've been trying to justify it and come out on the other side of it. And yeah, if you're them, if you can't really say, oh yeah, we messed up, we shouldn't have done this. You can't really come out and say that. You've got to double down. But you don't go about it the way that you're doing it, where everything you say or everything that's out there in the media is just an offshoot of Luka not being XYZ, or you not having XYZ faith in Luka, excuse me, and just the decisions that they made. And then back to Grimes here, this is just another one of those trades, context aside, that I just thought was questionable at the time. Everyone kind of thought was questionable at the time. And it's one that apparently is not going to be reflected, in a positive light for them. And we talked about previously, again, context could be applied to all those different things, but all the different players that they've let go. I mean, last night we saw two guys that they drafted in the same draft just go band for band, toe for toe until Jalen got hurt in the end of that game. And you've got to just imagine like what's been going. Yeah, absolutely. What's been going on with this team over the last few years, just in the way that it's handled and the way that they're managing their guys and the way they're unable to keep these guys. It's just been really brutal.
Oh, there was that graphic that's been going around of all the players the Mavs had lost over the last few years and how good they are. And I mean, and that was, spotlight, Jalen Brunson versus Luka, and both of them having great games, both of them making big plays. I mean, torture for the Mavs and for
the
Mavs
Knicks
fans.
The Knicks like absolutely stole Brunson. Just everything they did behind the scenes, hiring his dad, all this other stuff. Yeah. Context can be applied, but still. Sure.
Well, but the Mavs should have given him they should have extended him when they had the chance. They had that opportunity to give him that contract, and then they didn't. And man, are they regretting it? So it's like, yes, did the Knicks steal him? Yeah, but that was on the Mavs. They should have taken care of business there. It's just been a lot of things that have been going wrong there. And so again, Donnie, it's rare that we get in these situations, but like you feel for Mavs fans right now. Like I feel like their organization is just making a mess of things. And now you've got Quentin Grimes coming out and saying like all this stuff about Luka that's getting out there, it's not even true. Like it's not true. And even if it was, who cares? Because he still put up these numbers. It's rough times in Dallas. And I'll tell you what, Donnie, the only solution, I've talked about this, the only solution is for the Mavs to win. And now due to the unfortunate Kyrie injury, they're not going to be able to do that either.
I don't know if that's the solution, man. We asked that question in that one video, if you'd rather win one championship or have Luka for 10 years. There was a lot of fans that said they'd rather have Luka.
For 10 years.
Yeah, like I don't know if I just genuinely don't know if like they can get back in the majority's good graces. Like I don't know what they do here. This is just a weird situation. This is uncharted territory. Like I don't know.
I guess this is a great opportunity for us to open it up to everybody. Everybody, let us know what can the Mavs do from here to fix the situation. Let us know in the comment section. I'm really curious to see what people can come up with. What is it that the Mavs can do to repair their relationship with Mavs fans and what's gone on here? I mean, now you've got players speaking out saying the Mavs are not being truthful, essentially, with the information that's come out about Luka. And that, how do they fix all this? Let us know in the comment section. Everybody, again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are pushing for 20,000 subscribers. We're so appreciative of everybody who's joined us on this basketball journey. Till next time, everybody, we'll be out later today. We've got more stuff coming, so be ready for that coming later today. Be ready for that. Till then, see ya and stay safe.